What's going on, guys? Name is here, bringing you guys a brand new vlog. Today I want to talk to you guys about post champs. It's been roughly a week since we got back from champs. It was a crazy tournament. We ended up placing second, and I just kind of want to walk you guys through the road. I know most of you guys probably watch our matches, but briefly, the first day in pool play, we went 2-1. We lost to Immunity in a Game 5 search where Buzzo, shout out to him, he clutched a 3v1 that won them the game, which was pretty crazy. We ended up beating TEC and Arab Emirates team. Their name was Clarity. They only had 3 members at the tournament, which is kind of unfortunate, but you ended up beating those 2 teams. And then what happened was TEC beat Immunity, which made our pool, which put it into a 3-way tie. So in a 3-way tie, we have to do a tiebreaker, which is a best of 1 search and destroy game, 1 map, and if you lose, you're out, and then pretty much your backs are against the wall. So we played, well, TEC played Immunity first, and Immunity ended up beating TEC, and then we played TEC, and we won 6-5, which was like one of the craziest search and destroys ever. We went down 5-3 and brought it back to 6-5. So if we would have lost that, we would have been eliminated from the tournament, which would have been kind of crazy, and it would have been that would have been unbelievable. But we ended up beating them 6-5, which was pretty good. And then going to the next day, we didn't know how we were going to do because our pool play run was, really like a struggle for us. We thought we were going to win our pool like with ease. And we ended up getting second in our pool, which means that we had to play a team that placed first in their pool. So right off the rip, first round, we ended up having to play, who was it first? SB. We ended up having to play SB first in the bracket. And then if we would have beat them, we would have had to immediately play either Optic or TK. So our bracket was very difficult. Unfortunately, we ended up losing to SB, which dropped us down to losers bracket. So we lost round 1 in the bracket, and then going into the losers bracket, we had to play the loser of TK and Optic. So we ended up having to play TK. Optic beat TK 3-0, and then going into the TK match, we were pretty nervous. We ended up coming out with a 3-2 victory going into Octane Search, the last map. A couple of my teammates and myself, we went really big on that map. We ended up beating them, I believe, 6-0 actually. So it was probably one of the fastest searches, and right there I knew that we wanted it, and we're really good with when their pressure's on the line. So that was a crazy match. I think that really shifted the momentum of like everything for the whole weekend. But going into the next match, we were top 12 so far, and we had to play Epsilon. Epsilon is a really good team. They had just coming off of beating Optic, and they beat Optic in like a really like they proved themselves. They beat Optic 3-0, which was like really convincing. So I knew they were gonna be a tough match. We actually went down 0-2 to Epsilon. Tommy was going off. Shout out to him. He went like 13-1 in the first search and destroy. But the turning point in that match was the Warhawk Blitz. We beat them, I think, around 6-2 or something. It was a pretty big victory for us. The momentum switched, and we went into that next domination where we haven't been winning doms all weekend, and we knew if we lost that dom, we were out of the tournament. And it was Sovereign Dom, and we really like turned up and started playing like out of our minds. And that's when we realized Sovereign Dom was a good map for us. We switched up our strategy a little bit, started running 4 submachine guns, which helped us. I think aggression is really what our team needed that whole weekend in dom. But we won that dom. Then going into the last search, freight search was another round 11 freight search that we had during the weekend. We ended up winning 6-5. We were up 4-1, and Study's Xbox froze, and it kicked them out of the game. So we had to end the game. And then a lot of you guys may know in first-person shooters or in Call of Duty in general, it's momentum-based. So in Search and Destroy, if you're winning rounds after round after round, you can sometimes ride the momentum and win the game 6-0, 6-1 sometimes. And when the game had to restart, it was like a 5-minute intermission, and when it's restarted, we lost our momentum, and they started coming back. I don't know if they had time to talk it over, but anyways, we lost our momentum, and they came back and tied it up 4-4. And right there, that was an elimination match. Last map, I had one of the craziest 3v1s ever. I think it's on YouTube somewhere if you just type in Nameless 1v3, and it was versus Flux, Tommy, and Swanee. It was insane. And then going into the next rounds, I knew we were going to be able to take that. We lost the next offense, which how Freight is, you lose your offenses, and we closed it out on the defense in the last round. So right there, I knew we had what it took. We had what it takes to get all the way to the finals. So that was probably the craziest match of the whole tournament for me. And then going into our next match, I believe we played SB. No, actually, no, we didn't play SB next. We played the Australian team, which was Chilean, Damage. Sorry for the it's Katu, and it was the T1 Dollars. I forgot the other guy on their team, but they were an extremely good team. They had just beat FaZe. They 3-0'd FaZe in the pool play, so we knew everybody's telling me that they were a really good search team, and we had to win our searches, which kind of made me a little bit nervous because we had been winning our searches all weekend, and if they were gonna go toe-to-toe with us in search, it really threw it up in the air of who was gonna win that match. And we actually went into that match the next day. We absolutely destroyed them. We 3-0'd them. We played out of our minds, and that set the momentum for our entire Sunday. Going into our next match, we played Vex Revenge, which was the Canadian team. They were on a hot streak. They had just taken out Rise and Xfinity, Mud Dogs team, and those guys were some great players as well. We destroyed them 3-0. So after from the Epsilon match on, we were 12-0 in map count. We had after the match that we played against the Canadians, we played against SB, and we 3-0'd them, which was probably the craziest match as well. Just so many crazy games during the weekend. We 3-0'd SB, and we beat them 6-0 in search, and that was the fastest search ever. Like a 6 or 7 minute search and destroy game. I went 9-0. I didn't even die in that whole map. Ray actually didn't die either. He went 5-0 with like 2 bomb plants. So yeah, that was a 3-0. After losing to them earlier in the bracket, playing them again we didn't know if we were gonna beat them. We had some maps that were in their favor: Strike Zone, Dom, Freight Blitz, and we ended up winning both of those maps. So that was a huge match. After the SB game, we went and we played Optic, our rivals. We played them at regionals, and we beat them 3-1 to qualify for champs. So it was definitely a highly anticipated match. Earlier in the weekend, some of the Optic guys, we were all hanging out in the lobby, and they told me in study, they're like, we're not losing to you guys again. We were like, all right. And then we played them actually in losers bracket finals, and we beat them 3-1, which was, it was a pretty tough game. We actually replayed the Blitz. We tied it the first time, and then we replayed, and we won that map. And I think the Blitz was the turning point of the whole match for us, because going into the next map, we had Sovereign Dom, which we knew was one of their favorable maps. We ended up winning that map and closing out the game. So that was a huge match. And after that, we went into the finals and played Cole. And Cole, as you guys know, won the event. They're an extremely good team. The match, it was a tough match for us. We lost the strike zone by about 10 or 15 on both sides. And then we had search and destroy. And we knew if we were to beat Cole, we had to win all our search and destroys. So we ended up losing the search 6-5, which was pretty disappointing. If we had taken that map, we might have been able to, take them a little bit further, maybe win the first best of 5, who knows. But that really sucked when we lost the search, and then we went into the Blitz, kind of demoralized. Even we tried our hardest, and we ended up losing the Blitz. But shout out to them; they're a really good team. The whole weekend, we just had to play so many games, and it was just an exhausting weekend. But I'm so happy with our result. Thank you for all you guys for supporting throughout the weekend, and I'll be pumping out more content for you guys coming here pretty soon. And until next time, guys, peace.